Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's walk is a gentle winter circuit around Hartlepool Marina. It's one of those places that feels completely different depending on the season. In winter especially it takes on a quieter, more reflective character. The colours are muted, the air feels sharper, and everything seems to move just a little more slowly. This isn't a dramatic walk. There's no cliffs or sweeping views, no big landmarks demanding attention. Instead it's about stillness, subtle movement, and the simple rhythm of water, boats and footsteps. As I start the circuit, the marina is calm. The surface of the water is mostly smooth, with only the occasional ripple from a passing bird or gentle breeze. The boats are moored closely together, resting quietly, many of them tucked up for the winter. Covers pulled tight, ropes secured, everything prepared for colder days. There's something comforting about boats in winter. They feel patient, as if they understand the season is waiting for them. Walking along the path, the sounds are soft and spaced out. Footsteps on the pavement, a gull calling in the distance, the faint clink of rigging tapping gently against the metal masts. It's not silent, but it's calm. The winter strips back places to their essentials, and the marina is no exception. Without the crowds of summer, without the chatter of tables outdoors, without the rush, what's left feels honest. The water reflects the grey sky above, broken occasionally by the dark shapes of birds drifting across the surface. You can see coots and gulls moving easily through the cold water, completely at home in conditions that make most people zip their coats up a little tighter. As I continue walking, there's a steady, comfortable rhythm to the route. It's flat, accessible and easy. It's the kind of walk that lets your mind wander without needing to concentrate on where you are or placing your feet. It's part of what makes this circuit so appealing. You don't have to think too much, you just move, and you let the surroundings do the rest. The marina feels spacious in winter. Paths that are busy and social in warmer months now feel open and uncluttered. Benches sit empty, lightly weathered by wind and rain, waiting for spring and summer to bring people back to them. In the meantime, they're perfect resting points for anybody who wants to enjoy a quiet sit. Even the buildings around the marina seem calmer. Their reflections stretch across the water, slightly distorted, gently shifting with every small movement across the surface. It's one of those places where you can stand for a while without doing anything at all, and still feel like this time is being well used. As I walk further around the circuit, the wind picks up slightly, nothing harsh, just enough to remind you that this is winter by the coast. There's a freshness that clears your head. It's the kind of air that makes you breathe a little deeper without realising it. This is a short walk that suits early morning to late afternoons, times when the light is low and soft, and the marina feels like it belongs more to the water and wildlife than to people. In the winter, even familiar places feel new again. Without leaves or trees, sight lines open up. Details you miss in summer become easy to spot. The textures of brickwork, the lines of railings, the light catches on water and glass, everything feels a bit sharper, a bit more defined. And there's a sense of the routine here. People passing through on their daily walks, dog walkers moving at an easy pace, the occasional cyclist gliding past quietly. No one seems to be in a rush. Winter has a way of slowing everyone down, and the marina wears that pace well. As I follow the curve of the water, the view shifts gradually. Boats give way to open stretches, paths open out, and the horizon feels broader. There's gentle progression, never abrupt, which makes the circuit feel continuous and natural. This is a walk that doesn't demand attention, but rewards it if you give it. If you slow down enough, you'll start to notice small moments. A bird taking off from the water, wings briefly touching the surface, a reflection breaking apart and reforming, the subtle creak of mooring lines responding to the wind. None of it is dramatic, but all of it is grounding. There's a real sense of balance here, between land and water, between movement and stillness, between human-made structures and natural elements. In winter the balance feels especially clear. The marina isn't trying to impress, it's simply being what it is. A place for boats to rest, for people to walk, for water to move quietly in its own time. As the circuit continues, the path remains easy and well defined. This makes a great option even on colder days, when you want to go outside without committing to anything too strenuous. It's the kind of walk you can do while wrapped up warmly, hands in pockets, letting your thoughts drift, or the kind you can do deliberately, paying attention to every step, every sound, every change in light. Both approaches work here. Winter walking has a different purpose to summer walking. It's less about destination, less about speed. It's more about presence. And this marina circuit fits that perfectly. The water beside the path feels like a constant companion, always there, always moving, just slightly. It reflects not just the sky and the buildings, but the mood of the day, grey but calm, cool but not unwelcoming. There's a quiet reassurance in that. As I move further around, the marina opens out again, giving a wider sense of space. You can see further ahead now, the curve of the path, gently guiding you onwards. It never feels repetitive, even though it's in a loop. The change of perspective keeps it interesting. One moment you're close to the water, the next you're slightly set back looking across it. That variation makes the circuit feel longer than it is in a good way. Time stretches gently here, not dragging, just expanding. It's easy to lose track of minutes while walking this route, especially in winter, when there are fewer distractions pulling your attention away. No loud music, no busy crowds, just movement, water and air. As I continue, there's a sense of familiarity returning. This part of the marina feels well known, almost comforting. It's one of the strengths of local walks like this. You don't need novelty every time. Sometimes familiarity is exactly what you need, especially in winter, when comfort matters more than excitement. This circuit gently brings you back towards where you started, without rushing the transition. There's no sudden ending, just a gradual sense that the loop is closing. And that's something I really like about this walk. It doesn't announce itself, it simply lets you finish when you're ready. This is a walk that works in all seasons, but winter gives it a special kind of charm. It's quieter energy, a slower rhythm, a chance to step away from noise without needing to go too far. And as the circuit continues, that calm stays with you. As the circuit carries on, a familiar sense of easing settles in. The body has found its rhythm now. Steps feel automatic. Breathing steadies. This is often the point in a walk where thoughts start to soften. The mind stops jumping from one thing to another and instead drifts, lingering briefly and then moving on. Winter walking does that. There's less to demand your attention, so everything feels a little more spacious, inside and out. The marina remains calm beside the path. The water shifts gently, never still, never hurried. It feels patient. Even when the wind brushes across the surface, it doesn't disturb the mood, it adds texture. Small waves form and fade. Reflections blur and soften again. Nothing lasts long. Nothing needs to. It's part of the quiet lesson of places like this. As I continue around the circuit, there's a subtle change in atmosphere. The path feels more open here. A longer sight lines across the water. Buildings sit further back, allowing the marina to take centre stage. It's easy to focus on the movement of the birds now. Gulls resting on railings, others floating effortlessly, rising and falling within the water. Occasionally one lifts off, wings beating strongly against the cold air, before settling again somewhere nearby. They seem unbothered by the season. Winter is simply part of their rhythm. For people, winter often feels something to endure, but out here it feels more like something to experience. The cool air sharpens your senses. Sounds feel clearer, colours feel more intentional. Even the greys and browns have depth. Nothing feels flat. The marina path continues to guide the walk, without asking too much in return. No steep climbs, no tricky surfaces, just a steady route that invites you to keep going, even on days when motivation is low. That's what makes the Sixth Circuit such a reliable choice. You don't need a reason to walk here. You just come, and the walk takes care of itself. As I move along, there's a gentle awareness of the wider surroundings. The town beyond the marina, the unseen streets and houses, daily life continuing quietly in the background. But here by the water, something feels slightly removed, like stepping into a pause between moments. Winter creates that feeling naturally. It slows the edges of everything. People pass occasionally, offering a quiet nod or brief smile. There's a shared understanding in winter walks. Everyone out there has chosen to be. No one is lingering by incident. It creates a subtle sense of connection, even without conversation. The circuit curves again. The marina begins to feel more enclosed. The water narrows slightly. The path draws closer. Comfortable shift, like the walk is gently gathering itself before the final stretch. This part of the route feels especially peaceful. Sounds are muted here, footsteps seem softer. The water feels closer, more intimate. It's easy to imagine doing this walk regularly, week after week, season after season. Small changes accumulate over time, different light, different weather, different moods. Yet the core of the walk remains the same. That consistency is valuable, especially in winter when so much feels uncertain or demanding. As I continue, the wind eases slightly. The marina responds immediately. The water smooths out. Reflections become clearer. Buildings and boats stretch across the surface again, gently distorted but recognisable. It's one of those movement moments where everything aligns, not just enough to feel balanced. Not perfect, just right. Walking becomes almost meditative here. You don't need to think about anything in particular. Thoughts can come and go without being followed. There's no pressure to solve problems or make plans. Just walking. Just be aware of the walking. The path begins to feel familiar now. This section marks the gradual return towards the starting point. Not sudden, not obviously, just a quiet sense of the loop closing. This is something a circuit does well. It doesn't rush the ending. It gives you time to settle back into yourself before finishing. As I move closer to the final stretch, the marina takes on a slightly different character, more structure, more definition. The presence of buildings and moored boats feels stronger again. It's a reminder that this is a working space as well as a place to walk. A balance of function and calm. Even in winter, that balance holds. Nothing feels abandoned, just resting. The boats remain still, their reflections gently shifting. Some feel well used, others newer and tidier. Each one has its own quiet story, waiting for the warmer months to continue. Winter doesn't erase these stories, it just presses pause. As the path continues, there's a growing sense of completion. The body recognises it before the mind does. Steps feel lighter, postures relax. The circuit has done its work. This is often the point where people realise how much they needed the walk. Not in a dramatic way, just a subtle shift. A little more space in the chest, a little less tension in the shoulders. Winter walks are especially good for that. They don't overwhelm you. They quietly reset things. As I approach the final point of the circuit, the marina feels familiar again, like returning to a calm room after being outside in the cold. The water, the path, the boats, all feel quietly welcoming. Nothing has changed, but somehow everything feels slightly different. That's the effect of a simple walk well done. You leave with more than you arrived with, even if you can't quite name what it is. The final stretch is unhurried. There's no need to rush the ending. This is a place where finishing feels gentle, no sudden noise, no abrupt transitions, just easing back to where the walk began. And as the circuit closes, there's a quiet satisfaction in completing the loop, not because it was challenging, but because it was enough. Winter often encourages to slow down, to do less, to expect less, and this walk fits that mindset perfectly. It doesn't ask for energy or enthusiasm. It simply offers space. Space to breathe, space to move, space to think, or not to think at all. And that's why this marina circuit works so well in winter. It's accessible, it's steady, it's quietly grounding, and you don't need sunshine or blue skies for it to feel worthwhile. Grey lights suit it, cold air suit it, even wind suits it, as long as it's gentle. As the walk comes toward its end, the marina returns to stillness. The water continues its slow movement, the boats remain at rest, the passer waits the next set of footsteps. And that's the beauty of places like this. They don't change dramatically. They are just here, day after day, offering the same calm to anyone who wants to show up. In winter especially, that kind of consistency matters. It reminds you that even when things slow down, even when energy dips, even when days feel shorter, there are still places that welcome you quietly. Places that don't demand anything, just a willingness to walk. And with that, our winter circuit in the Hartlepool Marina is coming towards its conclusion. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and consider subscribing. It will help the channel grow. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you on the next one. Please enjoy the remaining footage.